In a game full of tryhards, snipers, and knifers, Slade, that's me, and a few of my friends try to help you to become the best sniper you can be in Slade's Knifing Survival Guide. Your results may vary. What's going on, guys? Slade by Blade here, and I sure hope you enjoy reminiscing my childhood in my videos as much as I do, but unfortunately we're going to have to move on from that because this is a tip video and I'm trying to help you guys get a little bit better at Black Ops 2, so let's move on to our first tip: which knife should I use? And that's a little bit of a hard question to answer because it's really based on what kind of playstyle you enjoy, so we'll just go through the pros and cons of each knife, starting with the combat knife. As you can see, it knifes incredibly fast. I mean, you're basically one after another, there's no pause or anything like that. And then whenever you move on from that, you also see that it only has, it has two types of lunge. It has a swiping motion, which is a little inaccurate, and I consider that a con, but it also has like a stabbing forward type of lunge, which I definitely consider a pro because, you know, occasionally you'll get some lunge out of it as well. And then the other con that I see is the fact that it doesn't have a crosshair, which makes it incredibly difficult to aim tomahawks. And, you know, you're not going to have to worry about aiming a skewer because it's not a ballistic knife, but you're not really going to be enjoying that tomahawk accuracy too much. So I would definitely consider using the combat knife if you don't really, you know, enjoy using projectiles and stuff like that. If you're more of just like a run and try and stab as many people as you can sort of guy. And moving on to our next knife, which is a ballistic knife, you'll see that it has a pretty slow stab, and I'm a little disappointed by that, to be honest. I thought it would be a little bit quicker since it's such a high level, but you know, you gotta work with what you got, I guess. And along with that, it only has one stabbing motion, and it's sort of like an outstretched sort of thing. And unfortunately, it really doesn't have that much lunge. It gets it occasionally, but it doesn't have that much lunge, and it only has one type of stab, so you know you're expecting the same sort of thing every time. You're not gonna have like these random bursts or anything. It just really doesn't have that much lunge. But you do have the skewer, so that's something to look forward to. If you're accurate with that, you can definitely skewer people. I've been doing that a lot. It's a lot easier to use in this game for some reason. And then moving on to the third knife, which is the tack knife, is basically more an upgraded version of the combat knife. And I mean, you don't obviously unlock it after doing anything with the combat knife, but it does knife at the same speed. And the lunge with it is pretty consistent. You'll have some to rely on whenever you're sprinting and stuff like that. And it has crosshairs, which the combat knife does not, so you'll be able to aim those tomahawks while you still have that speed. So I'd say if you have a tack knife, choose it over the combat knife if you can spare those extra 2 points, because you'll have to purchase the pistol and then the attachment as well, whereas the combat knife is 0 points whatsoever. So in conclusion, I guess I'd say combat knife, more of a running and stabbing, no projectile use whatsoever. Ballistic knife is if you're not really relying on that lunge so much and you're really looking forward to skewering people more so. And then tack knife would be I really want to run around and get the quick kills but still be able to aim my combat axe if I have to. So yeah. And I guess that covers tip number 1 pretty well, you guys. So moving on to tip number 2, use Ghost. Simple as that. I know it's a really high level, but it's worth it. If you're going to prestige, unlock it with a prestige token, keep it with you. It's so useful. And what you guys are watching right now is actually my first game equipping Ghost. I go on a 16 kill streak, and that's something I had not even come close to when I was not using Ghost. So hopefully that's a pretty good example and, you know, a good incentive for you guys to want to use it as well. I couldn't really think of another way to represent the fact that it's a useful perk. And, you know, I know that's probably kind of obvious to some of you guys, but some of you other people might have been thinking, well, I really want to use lightweight and something else. Well, Ghost is definitely useful, guys. You know, you don't have to move fast whenever you're not being seen, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And our last tip, guys, is how to get the tack knife without shooting, just in case anybody wasn't aware of how that works. It's the same as it's been in most games. You pick it up off a teammate, run around that same game and try and get some kills, and then into the lobby right here, you see that I've leveled it up a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You just keep working at it, and then eventually you have yourself a tack knife. And you keep your attachments after you prestige now, so you don't have to worry about losing it if you prestige or anything like that. You'll still have your tack knife. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and y'all take it easy. Peace.